So now we're going to talk about bowel cancer and the practical and emotional sort of implications on the patient and their family. So, Viviane, how can bowel cancer kind of impact the patient practically and emotionally? How did it hit you?
Well, initially it was a tremendous shock. It was totally unexpected, I suppose, because I thought I was fit, healthy and doing all the right things. But I kind of, in my head, whether this is right or not, but in my head, took it on the chin and just thought, right, okay, let's do this and fight it. I think it had more of an impact on friends and family and even work colleagues as well. My husband was just totally devastated. I think it's one of those things, you mentioned cancer, and people do think it's death. But obviously I had all that support from the hospital nurses, the colorectal nurses, the surgeon, and explained what could be done. So I knew it wasn't sort of like a death sentence as such. But also it was a massive effect on my parents. My dad had been through a few bits and bobs, and my mum went completely down into a very depressive state, which was quite hard for her. So that wasn't too good. And then I've got two boys who at the time would have been about 16 and 18. So again, quite impactful on them. My eldest son was certainly very, very upset. And the youngest one, I think he just didn't really accept what was going on, couldn't quite compute what it all meant. So yeah, it was a huge changeover. And then, as I say, because I was when I was going through chemotherapy, I was going into work. I did have to be careful of not getting anywhere near people with coughs and colds because my immune system was so poor. So I did have to be a bit careful. But again, I wanted to continue life as best I could so that people could see that I was dealing with it. And I wanted people to be aware that it doesn't have to be, that's it, you stop doing everything. I wanted to carry on keeping life as normal as possible.
And what was there that could support you and your family through the process?
Well, I did have lots of support. The explanations that I got from the consultant, the nurses, the empathy was magnificent. But also, as Judith mentioned before, the support from the charities. In particular, it was Macmillan for me at that time. That's the hospital where I'd gone to. The leaflets that they gave me were very much Macmillan ones, and there was lots and lots of information about the cancer journey, what you can do through sort of chemotherapy treatments, even relationships through cancer. So there was an awful lot of information there.
But you mentioned that the diagnosis did have quite a profound effect on your husband and your parents. What kind of support was there for them during that time?
To be honest, I think I didn't kind of think of support for them, and that's exactly what Judith was saying. We don't think about the supportive role of family and friends. It's just the person who's actually going through that cancer journey themselves. All I tried to do for them was to show them that I was upbeat and positive about it, but didn't actually consider if there was anything for them. And that's a very good thing to highlight, to be honest, yeah.
And I'm assuming, Viv, that there's probably good days and bad days. What is it that gets you through those bad days?
Well, I think for me it was walking. It was actually getting out in the fresh air and getting moving. Days where I felt particularly listless, fatigued. If I just allowed myself to sit and do nothing, I actually felt worse on the days that I did that. Sit watching television, reading a book, I'm just not that sort of person. And so the days that I did allow myself just to rest and do nothing were actually the days I felt worse. I felt much more ill. So I actually told my husband, if I say I don't feel like going for a walk, make me. I actually did say that to him, make me go for a walk. And that's why we ended up doing lots of walking and quite a lot of mileage walking as well, even when I did have my PICC line and the chemotherapy drugs in my arm.
And you've seen this in other patients as well, that it's the positivity, the positive thinking, and also the little things, taking care of yourself. That's the things that really make a difference. Isn't it?
Yes. And actually, you mentioned taking care of yourself. There is something called body image. I don't know if you know about body image. So it's a group where you could go and you can have your makeup done, you can choose a nice wig, because it's important. When you go through chemotherapy, you change, you know, physically, your body change. And this is where you can start feeling a bit down. And I think it's important to lift you up and to say, look, actually, you don't have to be so down like that. You can be positive. We can give you, you know, we can put some makeup there. We can put fake eyelash. We can give you some nice hair, new hair. So positiveness, yes, is crucial, very, very. And I do believe that when people have seen so many times, people where they are so positive, trying to be okay, you know, say, yeah, I'll be fine, I will be coming for my treatment today, I will try to eat, I will try to drink water, I try to take some fresh air. I truly believe that it will help you to go through your treatment better, yes.
That sounds like quite a challenge, though, to be able to manage what must be quite a daunting kind of medical treatment, and a course of treatment, you know, with things that maybe completely alien to you, having to take out new pills in a day or anything like that, and maintain positivity. Did you find that a challenge?
Well, yeah, as you said before, I did have good days and bad days, and sometimes you just think, why me? And that's just normal. It's just normal to sort of like think, I just feel so tired, why is this happening to me? And literally, you kind of almost have to just turn a little switch and make that decision to, hold on a minute, no, I can do this. And actually it is, it's almost like it's mindfulness, making that decision. The choice is yours to react one way or another. And by making that decision, then you become what you want to become. That sounds a little bit deep, but I'm totally into, if you want something and you want it enough, you will make it happen. So you've got to, but we all have choices. It's like I say to quite a lot of my friends, we have our own choice if we're happy or sad about things. Things can happen and we can react to them, but we have a choice of how we react. So if we choose to, okay, something bad happened, but I choose to make it positive, so therefore I've had cancer, I've had bowel cancer, I choose to get the word out there that it's okay. That's my choice, you know? So if you decide to do something in a different way but make it positive, then I think that's a good outcome.
And also not to forget that when the patient goes home, we will always give the patient a telephone number, emergency contact number as well. In BMI Healthcare, we are always open 24 hours a day. And there is always somebody on call at night, an oncology nurse, very important where I work at the Chiltern. There is an on-call nurse. So if the patient is unwell at 1 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, it doesn't matter what time, they can always ring us. There is always an oncology nurse available to speak to them.
That's the end of this part of the discussion. If you want more information, look out for the other episodes in this series and visit our website at bmihealthcare.co.uk. Look out for the Be Bowel Cancer Aware campaign page where you can download our awareness guide.